5 News at Noon starts now.
President Trump hosts Ukraine's president as he pushes for an end to the war with Russia. We'll take a look at the latest round of high-stakes talks. And federal officials in Arkansas are raising alarms about what you put on your car and why it could matter. Well, thank you for joining us for your 5 News at Noon. I'm Morgan Wrigley here with Joshua Weisel for more on the very hot forecast we've had. I think this weekend was one of the weekends that at least felt the hottest outside.
Oh yeah, and it's also making our lives difficult because we're just trying to find other words that aren't hot and humid. The synonyms for that, we're running out of that.
It'd be nice to have something else to talk about.
Oh, exactly. And Mother Nature's at least going to give us a little bit to talk about. We have hot temperatures that are already feeling like 102 in Bentonville. So, yeah, more heat and humidity, but at least we got some rain chances to talk about coming up here in a minute. 96 in Fort Smith feels like 103. So it's hot to say the least across the area. Here's a look at those temperatures around the region at noon. We're right near the triple digits for some parts of the area, right around the mid-90s for northwest Arkansas. Here's a couple more locations. You can see already close to the triple digits in some spots. Feels like temperatures, though, already in the triple digits area-wide. You can see it is a pretty hot day, to say the least. Now, the hourly forecast, abundant sunshine, but there is a chance for some pop-up showers and thunderstorms later on this afternoon into this evening. Same for the River Valley. So we'll be watching that radar. Not everyone's going to see this activity, but we're going to be talking about it's only going to get hotter before we get some relief, a midweek front, and maybe a secondary front by the end of the week. More details coming up.
Thank you, Joshua. And 3 police officers are shot in Utah after responding to a disturbance call. This happened last night. Police have confirmed that 2 of those officers have died from their wounds. The third has been hospitalized along with his canine partner. They say the officers were fired at after arriving at the scene. Local police say the officers requested additional units and then stopped answering their radio. Multiple agencies responded to the call. A suspect was taken into custody after he was convinced to drop his weapon by bystanders. He now faces charges for aggravated murder. The police in New York City are searching for multiple gunmen after a deadly nightclub shooting. 3 people were killed. Police say this happened in Brooklyn early Sunday morning and started with an argument among a group of people inside the crowded nightclub. New York City Mayor Eric Adams says the act of violence reinforces his views on stricter gun laws in the city. But police say despite this incident, they're actually seeing the lowest number of shootings on record. Well, the outer bands of Hurricane Erin lashed the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico late Sunday. The storm, a strong Category 4, is not expected to hit the U.S. mainland, but its effects will be felt along shorelines up and down the East Coast. Red flag warnings are in effect on beaches in San Juan as waves crashed against the Puerto Rican coastline. In parts of the U.S. territory, swells knocked over trees, left over 100,000 without power, and sent floodwaters pooling around homes.
Places have already received significant rainfall over the last 24 hours, and it could get another 2 to 4 inches of rain before the system Erin finally pulls away.
Even without a direct hit to the U.S. mainland, the storm is expected to create rough surf and dangerous rip currents along the East Coast. Beach safety officials urge swimmers to use caution. Well, President Trump set up today's crucial meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy by saying on social media that Zelenskyy can end the war almost immediately if he wants to. But there are serious sticking points that have to be settled before there can be peace, including the Russian occupation of Ukrainian territory.
President Trump will welcome Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy to the White House today for talks about ending the war with Russia.
And what it's going to take to stop the fighting, if we're being honest and serious here, is both sides are going to have to give, and both sides should expect to get something from this. And that's a very difficult thing to do.
The meeting follows Trump's Alaska summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Trump headed into Friday's talks, insisting on a ceasefire first. He left on the same page with Putin, posting on social media, quote, "The best way to end a horrific war is to go directly to a peace agreement." Zelenskyy says that just gives Russia more time to carry out deadly attacks.
It's impossible to do this under the pressure of weapons. So it's necessary to cease fire and work quickly on a final deal.
Trump administration officials say talks with Zelenskyy will focus on possible land concessions in order to secure a peace deal. Zelenskyy says he'd like to speak to Putin directly about that.
Since the territorial issue is so important, it should be discussed only by the leaders of Ukraine and Russia at the trilateral Ukraine, United States, Russia. So far, Russia gives no sign that trilateral will happen.
Putin told Trump on Friday that Russia wants all of the land it has seized during fighting and then some. That has raised concerns from some European leaders, and several are joining the White House in talks this afternoon.
Premier pilier de ces garanties de sécurité.
French President Emmanuel Macron said their primary reason for attending is to guarantee the security of Ukraine if and when a peace settlement can be reached. Aaron Navarro, CBS News, the White House.